Hi, I'm Denise Gierach. This is part 2 of our series. Here we are talking about separating the family business from the family home. In the last segment, we talked about the reverse. So when the clock strikes 5, it's tough to drop the workplace chatter on the spot and then keep it from coming home to the dinner table. After all, the success of the family business is probably pretty important to health and happiness of the family home. So, however, keeping the family business out of the family home is essential. Conversations and discussions that belong at the office need to be confined to the office. If they don't, work can quickly become an off-hour a day or 24-hour a day, 7-day a week enterprise where stress turns into a toxic bloom that eventually poisons both the family business and the family home. In this, part 2 of the 2-part series called Separating the Family Business from the Family Home, I'll highlight how to keep the family business out of the family home. Explicitly don't talk of the business at home. It sounds stupidly simple, but it's simply something that a lot of families never consider. Then try to create a house rule. No talking about work at home. Another thing is to think about most households already have rules everyone follows. This is just another important rule for the family to follow. Write this rule down and put it on the fridge, by the bed, anywhere and everywhere family members might need a reminder. When frustrations, worries, successes, or wins from the workplace start to finagle their way into at-home conversations, that should be focused on anything but work. You've got to cut them off with a sharp rebuke. That was lighthearted family discussions never devolve into a heated workplace debate. That's for doing that at work. And then ensure equal distribution of work at home, so no one's doing all of the work. One of the biggest pitfalls a family can fall into is applying the workplace roles to the family home. You have to wear a different hat at home than you wore at work. Just because mom is the president of the family business doesn't mean she's above taking out the trash, and just because Junior is only started at the company 2 weeks ago doesn't mean that he should always have to do the dishes after dinner. So while the family business shouldn't be a democracy, the family home should be. Everyone should have a voice and an opportunity to share their opinion and an equal share of the chores. So make the home feel like a team where the roles and the titles of the business are shed and everybody stands on an equal playing field. Then consider establishing dedicated hours of personal time. And working and playing with the same people isn't a great idea, even when people are family. You don't always get along in the same way. Part of keeping the family business out of the family home involves keeping the family out of sight and out of mind. Have dedicated time for individual pursuits and interests. This is important. You could be into reading, painting, weightlifting, gardening, running, anything that can be done in isolation. You need that alone time as well. Though it may sound callous, each family member is also an individual. And individuals need at least a few hours a week to be on their own, to be with themselves. Then look at settling an issue at work and not at home. This one is hard, but it's really an important issue. All workplace disputes need to be settled at work, even if that means staying longer at work and staying late. Failing to do so almost guarantees that the disagreement and the resentment that can build up along with it will find its way into the home, which is exactly what we don't want to have happen. Another thing is to get to a place where everyone involved in the disagreement, even if they're not happy, at least have it diffused and have them be willing to sit at the table and put the discussion for another day, but at work. Another thing is to keep your assets at work. Many family businesses have computers, cars, and other assets that are used in one capacity or another for the greater good of that company. These assets should be left at work and rarely, if ever, used or allowed to enter the home. Not only is this important for tax purposes, which it is, the personal use versus the professional use, it's important to a mental barrier between work and at home. It wouldn't be okay for a non-family member to take the company car to the grocery store or bring the company laptop home to binge watch Netflix. It's not okay for a family member to do that either. Yet, get feedback also at work, not at home. That's not the place for it. Thirst for self-improvement at home so that you can really be involved in those things that are outside that family business and give attention to those things, so that you're not bringing that business performance home. Pay attention to those family gatherings, the barbecues and things at home, but leave that business out of it. An easy way to keep work from coming home is by scheduling feedback sessions at specific intervals every Friday morning at 9 a.m., let's say. By having regular feedback sessions for both family and non-family employees, this is a clear time and place that's created for comments, for questions, and discussions that could otherwise be tempting to bring back at home, but shouldn't be there. So think about alternative options to promote this division between family and home. Sometimes the only way to keep the family business out of the family home is a family member deciding the family business isn't the best place for them to work and grow. Obviously, this is the nuclear option, and nobody wants a family member to feel forced to quit. But sometimes that is simply what's best for both the business and the family. Thanks so much for listening to this two-part series on separating the family home from the family business. We hope that you've learned something from this, and if you'd like further information, feel free to give us a call. In fact, I'll make you an offer. Give us a call and I'll give you a 20-minute free consultation to go through what your particular situation is. And if you like what you hear, you can become part of our team fold. So we look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.